thought that was actual like theme music that we made there. Was that?
Negative. No, I'm trying to put up the link to the show so I can share.
Oh, sweet. All right. Well, hey everybody, welcome to the Rinse. It's Sunday, July 5th. Happy 4th of July, everybody. We made it. 250 years. Cheers to America. For just being here and being through it. Did anybody do anything fun for the 4th so far? I feel like it's still like a weekend, and I think we should still keep celebrating it for the rest of this year and through the next 4th, because it's a pretty big event still, and we'll get into that. But did you guys see any fireworks or,
I was in a parade. I didn't see fireworks, but I was in a parade.
Wasn't that last month, Mark?
No. The parade was yesterday. It was the 4th.
Now,
but let me ask you guys a question then too, because like my brother, I asked him about this, and he said that he doesn't like fireworks. He's not a big fireworks guy. Like, fireworks shows just kind of bore him, and I was amazed by that. But I asked him, like, what would you rather do? Like, go see a parade or go to a fireworks show? And he just looked at me like, neither. Like, I would rather stay home. But parades, Mark, like what was the thought process there?
It was a Democratic Party parade here in Peoria. I mean, they had a float and a thing in the parade. It was here in West Peoria. Okay, this is West Peoria area, but West Peoria as a corporate entity is about a mile that way. And so it was that parade. And so it was like about an hour and a half waving to people, passing stuff out. And that was kind of fun. And,
Did you burn any MAGA flags again?
No.
like you did in the prior years?
No. That was not. I burned that one flag. I caught some heat for it, so to speak. But that was not on. That was actually in September, I think, when I burned that. And that was a Trump flag.
Larry Silver already shooting shots in the chat.
He's not going to be in office after 28.
I love, Drew, that you're the only one on the screen right now that thinks that, though. Like, I think an attempt is going to be made. He might not be successful, but he's gonna be trying.
I don't think so.
I think he will.
Well, wait, Drew, what did you do this weekend? Did you see any fireworks shows or almost, blow off any fingers?
I played golf.
No way. I like that you're taking a step out of your comfort zone, finally, and just,
game.
No, where'd you play at?
Well, first place I played at this weekend was Quail Creek. I believe that's in Pittsburgh. And then today I played at Whispering Hills. This the picture behind me is this picture that you've got up on the screen is from Quail Creek. And,
okay.
But
Whispering Hills is the one that we played at, right?
Yes.
The one that's behind you.
Yes.
Okay. Now, we talked a little bit about this before the show started. Drew.
Oh, record.
I was so proud of Drew with his post, and he's just saying, "Hey, is this a three-peat for Rob Kendall?" Which we gotta actually ask Rob about this. Like, was there a point in time where he was referred to as Robbie Kendall? Because
well, if you look at it, 2001, 2002, and 2003. And that would have been when he was like 16, 17, 18, something like that.
How old were you guys in those years, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
2001?
Yeah.
What part of the year?
Oh my God. Like, is it AARP going to ask a question?
Wait, that's how they got Osama bin Laden. He turned 50 and boom, they knew where he was. All they had to, but I was 45, turned 46.
Okay. Drew, what about you?
Younger. I was much younger.
Well, yeah,
Than you
but
are now.
I was 17 in 2001.
I was 25 years younger than I am now.
Drew, I hate math on a Sunday. You know, there's
Mhm.
there's really nothing worse than that.
Okay, 2026 minus 25 is 2001.
See, I need a dry erase board right now. But
Mhm.
now let's get back to the post that you had here. So it was is that a three-peat for Rob Kendall? Very nice shout out to Rob Kendall about
Yeah, yeah,
a
no,
three.
it's a nice little golf course. Um, I mean, it's surrounded by some really cool small cottage, small like custom homes. Really nice, well maintained. Um, just really, really nice little golf course, man. It's in Pittsburgh. We played it. I played it several times, and it's fun little course, and we had fun. And yeah, so this
And even in the post, like even in the comments, Rob got in there. He said, "I used to have talent." Got a good laugh. And then Mike Young, Senator Mike Young, based Senator Mike Young, according to Indie Reporter. And I love Mike Young. He's been on Mouthwash. He's just if you get him talking about the Kennedy assassination, it's one of the funnest
One.
listening sessions that you had. The 63 one, not 68.
I've gone through Daily Plaza.
Oh man, that you should just. We need to get Mike Young on just to talk about that again. That was a fun time. But no, Mike Young kind of calls out Rob Kendall.
he does.
And Drew, I mean, this was again very happy with your tone that you took throughout all this.
I'm improving. I'm getting better, right?
I mean, you were answering like politicians, like they were kind of going back and forth. Mike said that I wouldn't give him any credit as he's not good at anything he does. You, on the other hand, are a great American who expresses his views without abusing other people. You exemplify what it is to be an American. Rob, on the other hand, shows what it means to destroy another American because he disagrees with the person's ideas. I like you better, Drew. And that's coming from a state senator. That's got to feel kind of nice, right?
Yeah, sure does.
And then Rob, he defended himself, and then you got in there and you just said that, Senator Young, I like Rob. He's always been cool and he's a pretty good golfer. I like you too. You've been one of the politicians that's always responded to my questions. Speaking of golf, Mike, I hope we get a chance to play this summer. And then Ethan Hatcher gets in. We're actually going to talk about Ethan later because of the godless communists that are coming for everybody. And not that Ethan's a communist, but he is an atheist. So I don't know if he's on communist sides with abolishing religion.
He is not. No,
but that is the threat apparently.
From Ethan?
No. From the right, and we'll get there. Okay. I'm lumping in with how everybody on Fox News is going after Mamdani and saying that communists are the biggest threat to America in our entire history, bigger than 9/11, bigger than World War I and World War II. But yeah, you guys, this goes back and forth for a while. Talking about who's in whose head and everything like that. So, Drew, kind of, I guess, do you want to talk a little bit about that? Like, how did you see this happening, and what was your?
Well, I've played there before, and I saw the plaque. I saw that Rob Kendall and his buddy Ernie won the club championship for the juniors for 3 years in a row. And I thought that was neat. And I've played golf with Rob. Rob's cool. He's a good golfer too. We played there, and I saw that. So took a picture of it, threw it up on my post, and wow, it escalated quickly.
That's yeah. It's like the Anchorman sketch. Like, it's I didn't see that coming out of just a picture taken from a trophy room in a random, What are you drinking on Modelo's over there?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
See,
Yeah.
I thought golf is supposed to calm you down. I mean, why get irate over golf history? To me, it's kind of like negating the whole point of being out there.
No, golf is not a calm sport. Golf is one of the most frustratingly stupid sports there is.
I stay pretty calm when I play golf.
Drew, I've played golf with you. You don't. I mean, I've seen the rage.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
I mean, honestly, when I play, there's probably at least 4 or 5 times where I feel like breaking my club over my knee. I don't think anyone's ever played the game that hasn't had. The whole matter, the whole point of it is you take that rage and you direct it into focusing on your next shot. Don't break your club. It doesn't do any good. I was a club breaker when I was.
So you were like Happy Gilmore, basically.
Kind of, yeah, maybe.
See, I play my clubs that I use. They're all the same. I play with 5-wood, so I've got like 8 5-woods. Now some of them are metal heads, others are wood heads, but they're all 5s, and that's my favorite. That's my favorite club. So
I just imagine you kind of having like the Fred Flintstone bag with like the sticks with the actual rocks, like little tied to the bottom of them.
I've got this old canvas bag that's got like a St. Andrew's tag on it. So it's like, and I play with fluorescent golf balls. That way I lose them less frequently, and they're especially easy to find in water hazards. So if you see that, you can know the one to pick out of there that might be a better lie. So, hey.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, let's I want to bring into the American Pride Month. Hang on here. All right. Yes. Our American Pride Year 2026.
Didn't one of your kids draw that?
Yes.
That's really
Brad Jr. Did. Actually, I think this was just me left-handed.
You got a Brad Jr.?
No, I wish, man. That would have been awesome. They're my kids still. I can change their names whenever the hell I want, I guess.
You own them. You own them legit.
It's America, so we should be able to. No, Witty, thank you for that. No, my son's initials are the same as mine, which are BJS. So really, any way you look at it, it is just a terrible set of initials because it's either
when he goes to college, he's going to catch a lot of shit.
Be like, hey, guess what? BJ's. Send them my way. But no. So American Pride Year again. I don't know about you guys. I still think that we kind of shit the bed on celebrating as a unified country. I think one of the easiest things to kind of look at is how other countries have been viewing us. And that's what I wanted to kind of focus on with like all the World Cup people. This guy from Germany, he loves our ranch dressing. He said he's had more bottles of ranch dressing than I've been to games. I drank straight from it this morning. If we had this stuff back home, I would genuinely never stop eating it, drinking it, showering in it. It'd be an addiction. So is that really all we need to do to spread world peace, is spread ranch dressing throughout the globe?
Can I take this one, please?
Yes.
So the very bougie Europeans are starting to see some of our basic blue collar American things, and they're liking. So with stuff like this, dude's gonna bring ranch dressing is gonna make a resurgence in Europe. Excuse me.
But I think that can band together people who might have had differences in the past. It's like, who gets mad?
We can all bond over ranch dressing, Brad.
Exactly.
It'll be a thing. It'll be
Exactly. Now, again, and then we got Jason Hammer. This was one of my favorite posts of the weekend, just because it was unifying. This was his recap of Independence Day. Celebrated America's birthday, blew shit up, got drunk, gained 8 pounds in 3 days. There's no mention of what political party you're a part of or what your background is. This weekend in the 4th of July, I feel like it's up there with Thanksgiving as those holidays where there's really no expectation for anything else. It's just you are there to eat and blow shit up and kind of, be with your community. So,
may I give a contrast on this?
Yes.
Okay. So in 1976, the bicentennial, there was a lot more stuff going on. There was a lot more publicity. I wore a button from fall of 75. It was put out by the People's Bicentennial Commission. It was the Gadsden flag, "Don't tread on me." And they were having a demonstration on July 4th in Washington, D.C. I hitchhiked from Greencastle, Indiana. I think I kicked out on June 28th. Went to UVA because my debate partner, Katie, was at University of Virginia getting her master's. Woke up in a park. She wasn't home yet. She was out doing something. And I've got these people sitting there. You're lucky that we're sitting here because this is not a good place to be, because I would have gotten mugged. And anyways, so we get a bus, go to DC, Fairfax. Her sorority sister, who was in student senate, and I was student body president then. We stayed with her parents and her. We went to see The Omen because it was out in theater, and it was I'm looking at the youngest Trump kid right now. Anyways, so I thumbed into DC on the morning of the 4th. All this publicity going on, and it's the biggest demonstration that day in the United States. There were cops on both sides. We're at the Jefferson Memorial, and we're going to march to the Capitol. At DePaul, before Monon Bell games, the first time I went, I'm asking guys whether they have gloves in their back pockets because it was a warm day in the fall. And they said that way, when you hit people in the face, you don't skin your hands. I'm seeing people around me with gloves in their back pockets. So I start walking as fast as I can to get up at the front of the march, which is where all these ministers and pacifists were. And that put me on the front row for the demonstration right in front of the Capitol building. It was really cool. A lot of people spoke that day. There were people with black flags for anarchy. There were communists, socialists, a whole bunch of people. Everybody was relaxed. Jane Fonda spoke. Tom Hayden was there. Then I met, and this is such a DePaul thing, I met Katie and Janet afterwards at the Hirshhorn. We had cocktails and went back out to have shish kebabs at her parents. And then I was on Walter Cronkite's Greatest Hits of the Day. But the camera didn't see somebody. I was either passing them a joint or receiving it back. I forget. But the whole thing was, it was very focused. It was very peaceful, but there were cops on both sides marching from the Jefferson Memorial to Capitol building. There are 60,000 people in that demonstration. And it was everybody knew what was going on. The tall ships in New York City Harbor, that was wild. That was a huge party. There were people in Philly. There was a big demonstration there. And everything was really cool. People were focused on that stuff. And there was merchandising. Absolutely. I saw Sears had a bicentennial bathroom, which was a hoot. But there was nothing where anybody was trying to take money in the Capitol itself, or anybody from the government saying, hey, celebrate me. And I think Gerald Ford had a thing where he was ringing a bell. It was and he kind of looked dorky, but that was Gerald Ford. But that was it. This now, what happened yesterday, the setup for it, if anything, it was tacky. There wasn't any coherence to it. Maybe that's the nature of how we communicate anymore, because there isn't the cohesion of 3 networks, PBS, and something like that, which there was then. They were just getting into cable. I don't know if that's the explanation, but I know there was a lot more coherence in planning and carrying things out.
Well, and I saw pictures too, there were people inside the reflection pool, standing in not bathing, I guess, but everything just looked weird back then. So, people were standing inside the reflection pool. They weren't, cutting it with a box cutter, the liner and whatnot. It was very. It looked like everybody was there just to have a nice time.
Yeah, it was, and a good time was had by all, at least on my part. Then I hitchhiked back to Indiana by way of Cincinnati, party with another debate partner of mine, and he had graduated, and then made it back into Greencastle. And it was like, round trip thumbing is always a challenge. That was like the last long distance trip.
No, seriously, Mark. Like every time you tell like a story about hitchhiking, I still am shocked that you weren't murdered. Not because of you personally, just because of the idea of hitchhiking and getting away with crimes back then. Just seems
he's the psychopath.
Stupidly easy.
It was. I was doing stuff that was young, and I was doing things that weren't really all that good. I'm losing you guys on my thing here, my screen. But it was, I had fun doing it. What can I say?
Yeah. Well, no, and we still got you on this end, like, so just so you know.
Yeah.
But I do love one of the things that I love too. Merriam-Webster is one of my favorite follows on Twitter and Facebook, just because, like, I still think it's important that words are used correctly and that words are defined correctly. But this was one of the best burns that I saw, because it's the dictionary company, and they're like giving it to England, because we gave them that L in 1776, and it's, you don't have to be overt with any kind of patriotism or anything like that, and people in England buy dictionaries too, but man, they got a sweet burn there. Oh, see, and Drew, okay, because I'm gonna bring that up here. No, stand back up, because I want to see that again. Thank you. Free America from Israel. I got told that the left is the reason that there's so much anti-Semitism, though, in the United States right now.
It's the actions of the Israeli government that has the rise of anti-Semitism. And it's not anti-Semitism to hate the action, to dislike the actions of a government and to really despise that government.
Yeah. And so what you're saying too then is, like, if you disagreed with what the United States is doing or their actions or their leader, just because you disagree with that doesn't mean that you're not.
It doesn't mean you're anti-Christian.
Yeah. And it's not saying that we hate our country or that we think that, America should fail.
It's not a Christian country.
Well, I mean, we're a Judeo-Christian country, I think is what.
No, we're not.
No, See, Drew, that's your Second Amendment thing. Like, getting Mark all riled up about Second Amendment stuff. That, I think I can get you with that. Just saying. Yeah, we're a Judeo-Christian.
No, we're not.
One thing I'm going to interject.
No, we're not.
2 days ago,
we're not a Judeo anything. We're not a Judeo anything.
No, I digress. It's 78 degrees in here though, and it's kind of hot. So I'm sorry.
What's your cat's name? Which cat's that?
Barley.
Barley. Hi, Barley.
Barley.
Yeah, I came up the street the other day. I'd run across down the street for a minute. I had a whistle pig in my backyard. Groundhog. I have a groundhog here in the city. It bummed me out.
Why? They're cool.
Not very pleasant. They're not very pleasant.
They're Democrats.
No, I mean they're on the next property over, but they took my pears from my pear tree when I was in school, and so I always been very.
Well, give it a name, and you can send in a mail-in ballot for it later on in November. It's the best of both worlds.
About that, we do not kid about that.
Go mail-in ballots. I did want to. Well, actually, wait. Let me put this back up here because, so lately it's been, what I've seen is apparently, Zoran Mamdani is ruining New York City, and that, communism is the biggest threat to us currently, and Fox and friends, they've been in front of the freaking Statue of Liberty all weekend. Okay, talking it up, and and again, Statue of Liberty is one of, I feel like, our most prized presence from a different country, and
France.
yeah, and historically, it's been used to welcome people to the United States, right?
That's the first thing I see.
So, is that still on the table? Do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody that wants to come to this country needs to go through Ellis Island. Nowhere
Well,
else. How about that would work.
I think
All
people
right, well,
should destroy history.
We
I
should
have
have
a
very, very tall. We should have very, very tall walls and a wide gate that people could come in through.
well. Do you guys know who Troy Nels is?
No,
He's a congressman from Texas, which I'm just teeing this video up because at first he was talking about how he was going to go home and eat lobster tails and ribeye steaks, and somebody asked him
shrimp.
about
Shrimp. Was he gonna shrimp too?
well, yeah, probably. I mean, from the Gulf of Mexico.
Gulf of America.
Okay, well, let's just see what Troy has to say though about how he views the Statue of Liberty now. And again, this isn't a random ass person. This is a guy who actually is in Congress that votes for shit. Let's see what
is that if the American people are truly going to enjoy the 4th of July, right? You have to love our country, number one. You have to love our country. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. Can I tell you something? This is what we got to do. We got to put a bed sheet, a big bed sheet, over the Statue of Liberty. 10 years, 10-year moratorium on immigration. No more. We have to get this under control. The amount of people that are in this country, we don't even know who they are. The tens of millions that came through in the previous administration, we don't know who they are. The people over here on visas, you signed a little deal that says, I come over here for 5 years and then I'm going to leave. They're overstaying their visas. The fact of the matter is, we got to have a 10-year moratorium on immigration, so we got to have a freeze, put a bed sheet over the Statue of Liberty.
Drew, stop nodding your head.
Because she's going to need to go to sleep for a while. She got to go to sleep for a while because we're not letting anybody in anymore.
Well, some people think
we gotta put her to sleep for a while.
Okay. Can we talk about hyperbole?
Yes.
Can we talk about? Yeah, we can talk.
Drew. Yeah, Drew. Yeah, you start off with this. Yes.
Okay, so I don't think that he meant put a physical tarp over the Statue of Liberty. That's just ridiculous. What I think he meant was put a 10-year moratorium on immigration. I really don't think that that's a bad idea. That's just my opinion. I don't speak for anybody else, but I don't think that would be a bad idea. Put a 10-year halt on immigration until we can get the process figured out. Because honestly, if somebody wants to come to this country legally, the process to come here legally is cumbersome, it's expensive, and it's time consuming. But then again, they're what do you call it? They're making it look attractive to just creep across the border and claim political asylum, and then they're here. So I'm sorry, but we do. I agree with this guy 100%. 10-year moratorium on immigration. 10 years. Absolutely.
Mark.
Okay, we don't have a problem with immigration, first of all. And if you want to live in someplace safe, live in a neighborhood where you've got immigrants. Now, immigrants who are here by permission on things, they can't vote. People who are here illegally, guess what? They actually pay taxes. They're paying sales taxes. They're paying taxes when they buy gasoline. They're doing all that stuff. And plus, they're doing jobs that people here really don't want to perform.
Bullshit.
Whoa. I didn't say anything while you were talking.
Okay, you're right.
So those people are doing things that we need to have done. If you want to look at crime rates, when I heard the majority floor leader of the Indiana Senate spoke to the Broad Ripple Republican Club, like 2023, I think, or maybe it was 2024, he said there were people there, Tea Party people, saying, well, what are you doing about all those immigrants? He goes, first of all, we don't have 30,000 Haitians in Cass County because that's where he's from. He said, also, do any of you want to go into a slaughterhouse? We got 2 of them. And those people are doing those jobs there. And yeah, we've had violations of crime from people there, but far less than the average. And they're good people there. So, and that is an important aspect of it. So we need immigrants here because not only that, this country was built on immigration. And not only that, the European people coming in were killing a lot of the people who were already here. All those things added up. The illegal immigration, though, that we're facing that is really bad comes through some of those condos in New York. Russians coming in, they can drop money here and stay. So those are all things that that's my view on it. I love immigrants. My family was here in the mid 1600s, so hell.
No, yeah, Drew, respond or if you want on that one. Well,
let's just go with the doing jobs that Americans don't want to do. So,
but aren't they still being paid? Somebody's paying them to do
no,
these.
No. But just doing jobs that Americans don't want to do. First of all, if somebody's collecting unemployment, there is no job that they should be above. I'm sorry. People worked in those slaughterhouses before we had this huge immigrant problem, huge illegal immigrant problem. Yeah, no, I mean, the whole premise of there's jobs that Americans don't want to do, I don't buy that. Mark, I'm sorry for interrupting you. I'm trying to get better.
Well, and I want to finish this guy up.
I'm not saying it's dead. What I'm trying to say is that instead of having a torch, maybe it needs a stop sign. Maybe we need a little bit of a stop sign. Hyperbole
again.
Okay, but I brought up earlier, like with the with this part, like I like Merriam-Webster because they talk about words. We can't have leaders always talking in hyperbole about, different things like Jim Lucas even. Do you guys know Jim Lucas?
I like Jim Lucas.
Well, he like this kind of stuff where, he's saying Hitler was a failed art student and a vegan who blamed all his problems on rich people and the Jews. If he was around today, he'd be attending the Democratic Socialists of America conference. Now,
no, he wouldn't.
On this. Like,
that's not where Hitler would be. Just saying, that's not where he would be.
Thank you. And for as much as we're told, the left has to tone down the rhetoric. We're calling people Nazis. We're calling people this or that. Jim Lucas is an elected representative in Indiana, and he shares this kind of shit all the time. It's where is that the hypocrisy? Like where is that line in the sand of like, you guys are just dumbasses then? Like you guys are just trying to poke the bear, and then and then cry foul if it happens to you, I guess.
May I? I think that talking about hyperbole is part of free speech, but also it's not just a right to criticize. Theodore Roosevelt said, you've got a responsibility to criticize the president of the United States. You got a responsibility to criticize people in power. And when they start saying, well, you can't criticize us, screw them. I've said screw them, fuck them. We have a right to make those statements and to criticize them. That's what makes us unique and different.
Damn right. And I think that when people get elected, though, I don't know if they get elected through just speaking in hyperbole and then backtracking and going, well, that's not what I meant. But they don't ever take their foot off the gas when they're in office. I mean, like this weekend, what sorts of messages did you hear from the top? Like our country and the current administration saying how unified we should be and how together, the United States has persevered 250 years of shit. I mean, like we've had wars between ourselves. We've had arguments for centuries and we're still a work in progress, but it's all I heard this weekend was finger pointing about who's to blame for this, and it's the left, it's the communist, it's and we have to take our country back from the communists, even though there's only 3 people that got elected in New York, and the Republicans hold every single facet of the government right now.
And I really think that we need to look at, like, can I raise a question about, like, the whole weekend? Was the country really founded on July 4th, 1776? I mean, if you look at events around that time, and I'm saying this, we really need to know this stuff because it's the history. There were more fights and battles starting like 1774 and 1775 where things were splitting up. We declared independence from Great Britain July 2nd, 1776. The Articles of Confederation were authorized to be drafted in that same session of Congress when they were together. They really weren't put together so people could sign. That was kind of prolonged until the Articles of Confederation were ratified. All those things are elements to a country, and really the Articles of Confederation amounted to a kind of like a United Nations of the separate states. And so,
which is a great way to put it because of how weak that sounded. You know, like Articles of Confederation was a weak document because it didn't, you know, it didn't observe everything that was going on within each of the colonies. Like, and that proves how difficult the United States has been to kind of like, number one, be created, and then number two, stay whole. I'm amazed that we've done that.
And when you look at what happened in terms of the Constitution, the fact that they got a convention together was almost like a mistake. A big kicker in that was Rhode Island. They refused to do anything.
So Rhode Island, get the hell out of here with your small ass. Like,
no, I mean, but you had to have a unanimous vote on stuff because Rhode Island refused to do that. That kind of relieved a lot of the burden of some people and the states coming in. And so when they had the convention, they meet in May 1787 in Philly. Patrick Henry refused to attend. And he said he smelt a rat in Philadelphia. And so he refused to go there. Now, that's why they were able to get the convention. It was a long, protracted thing. But that gets back to the whole idea of like Patrick Henry. And I blogged yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I saw that Todd Rokita had said, like on July 1st, he said, well, let's remember Patrick Henry, who everybody remembers for his having said, give me liberty or give me death, also had a thing about Indiana because he authorized George Rogers Clark to go on an expedition that was in Indiana, and they named the Fort in Vincennes after Patrick Henry. Okay, Patrick Henry never said, give me liberty or give me death. That cannot be validated. What he did say, and this is more important about our country, Patrick Henry, during Virginia's ratification debates, said, look, we can't get rid of slavery. It's evil. It's wrong, but it's convenient. He used the word convenient. Now, instead of saying, well, that's really negative about our country. No, it's a recognition of these people were arguing about that, and we're arguing about slavery. And when you have somebody like Micah Beckwith saying, well, they didn't even mention it in the Constitution. That's right, you idiot. They didn't. They didn't want to. Because all the other countries in the world are like discarding slavery. These are important things about our country. We have to recognize. And so I'm looking at this stuff, and so I made the comment that I had a rather acerbic title for my blog. But when people ignore it or they prefer to have some kind of rosy thing, give me liberty or give me death. He was actually saying, give me liberty, give them death. And when you recognize those roots of our country, that's when you can start saying, wait, these people were actually people. They were human beings.
Yes. They're not these demigods that need to be put on pedestals. I mean, like, I really think the more you look into it and the more you read, you understand how difficult it would have been to get everybody on any sort of the same page. Like, even today, like, we're all here in the same country. We should all, Tommy Ice, he posted a little bit ago, is unity bad? And I can't remember what
no, unity not bad.
No, and I don't think so either. But if you bring up the idea of unity in like a school setting right now, they would cry, "Hey, this is DEI, this is woke, nonsense.
That's you're speaking in hyperbole now, aren't you, Brad?
Maybe, yeah. But I don't think that I'm wrong in my assumption that would be said.
Unity is one thing. Unity is one thing, and that's DEI is not unity.
No, unity for its own sake is wrong. If you're going to say, well, just shut up and go along with this, we've all faced that too.
No, well, and that's actually a great point, Mark. It's because like the First Amendment gives us that right to complain. It gives us that right to question, and we should be allowed to. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, Drew. Go ahead.
It's fine if it's organic.
But isn't there always somebody pushing it? Like,
no, yeah, there is somebody pushing it, but not always.
I mean, but I think during our, during our country building, we had that common enemy of England. You know, it was easy to, I mean, not easy at all, but like it was, we had an external enemy that we could point to and say that was it.
Okay, but at that time, and this goes back to Patrick Henry. Nobody can remember his having said, "Give me your liberty, give me death." But at the same period of time, he had gone in and made us, and it was the same date. He was said to have said that he made scurrilous accusations against the king, insulted the king. Everybody's sitting there. We were all people then were British subjects. Patrick Henry came back into the House of Burgesses the next day and apologized profusely for insulting the king. And so when you're saying they were the enemy, think about what was going on at the time. They were kind of ignoring what the people here in the colonies were saying in some ways, but we'd got protection from the British Army and Navy. They had to fight the French and Indian War, killing more people. Okay. Then people here got annoyed because we were getting taxed for it. Then there's like a 60-day delay, 30 days over, 30 days back, any communications with England. Well, they're kind of screwing up on how they're handling things on PR with us. And then they compounded it because people from here wanted to go and address Parliament because we had people saying, let's talk to the king. That's where they started screwing up. Then another problem was slavery. A lot of the people here who were loyalists left. I think there's like 30% of the people who were here left these colonies. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Drew. I'm sorry.
Disagree with you about the Patrick Henry quote.
Really?
Really. Actually, Larry had a funny comment about it, and I don't think Mark's quite that old. But no, while you were talking, I went ahead and I ran it through a couple of different search engines, and every single article that I came up with said Patrick Henry is attributed to that quote. So
attributed means it didn't come up until 35 years after he spoke, and it was in William Wirt's biography of Patrick Henry. Patrick Henry didn't say that, but also Wirt said he didn't talk with anybody who was actually there. There was one person who had been there who wrote a letter to him and said, this is some of the stuff that I remember, kind of the subjects and everything. He didn't give the line of give me liberty or give me death. Nothing listed it in a newspaper at the time. So he was attributed to saying that, okay?
Yes, every single publication that I looked at.
But nobody who was quoted from being there at the time. Nobody.
Every single publication.
If only we had video and audio evidence from that day.
Why didn't somebody post that shit on Facebook?
Well, I mean, come on, Drew. Like, we can all look at the video of January 6th and reach the same conclusion, right? No?
God sent them there. I mean, they were FBI plants. I mean, it's a dessert topping. It's a floor polish. It's
a dessert. Well, let me switch gears and go back over to the TDS part of this with the communists and everything, because I do want to ask you guys the question of what is that? Okay, is communism the greatest threat to the United States, as I've heard? this weekend.
No, it's not.
Mark, do you agree with Drew that it is not the greatest
I
threat?
agree. We probably have for different reasons, but I mean, it's not the greatest threat.
No, I don't want to like dig into why. Like, I just love that you two are on the same side of this. Yeah, this is a miraculous moment, guys. Let's just sit and take this in for a second. Okay. No, so I did want to bring this up because the last couple of speeches that I've heard, they all kind of sound like
close
this.
the churches in this country. They go communist, and they're trying to. They will kill your people, and that's
They will kill your people.
They want to end religion.
Agree with that, Larry.
Because their ideology doesn't work. If you have strong religion, people like you that are so incredible and love our country so much and love God. This is the greatest threat to our country since its founding, in my opinion, 250 years ago, what's happening right now.
But that's okay. So I do like, let's talk about Larry's comment here. Like, the Republican Party in its current form is the greatest threat.
Yeah, I can agree.
But aren't they also like the greatest possibility to like do good?
No.
As well, if they wanted to?
No.
They don't want to. If they wanted to.
Yeah, no, Drew, keep going with that.
What do you mean? If they wanted to do right by the American people instead of being controlled by a foreign government, they could. They're not. They won't.
No, yeah. Mark, what about you? Like, do you think that the Republicans, in its current form, is the greatest threat?
Yeah, because I think, and we've had conversations about this, the corporate entity that's been established as kind of a cookie cutter design here in Indiana there for Republican Party that is a not-for-profit corporate entity that is therefore doesn't have shareholders, so people can't buy shares to take it over, and they have like confidentiality where they don't have to show secrets or anything, and they're taking over the government. That's a very real threat. I don't view any party that would do that any differently. I was focused on studying the Republican Party at that point. If anybody has similar criticisms from actually looking at the Articles of Incorporation and bylaws and rules of any iteration of the Democratic Party in whatever state, be glad to look at them. But I think anytime you have a corporate entity set up like that, and the corporate entity is written into the statute as being part of the government, I don't give a damn what party it is. That's wrong, and that is a threat.
Well, so is this hyperbole?
Yes. Well, and I'm surprised.
Not my question, but not that question about communism, but like, is Trump's comment on communism being the greatest threat? Is he speaking in hyperbole, or is he really believing that?
That's all he speaks.
I believe he believes it, though.
And so
I think
he talked
He's
about
being.
Are you worried about more socialist candidates?
You got to work on your sound.
It's a big threat to
True.
our nation, actually, because it's not social.
Oh no, I gotta get this turned up.
They use the word social democrat because it sounds so nice, but it's really.
But he's saying that social democrats are communists, and that
That's talking points.
But how can he have these kind of talking points if he's supposed to be the leader of the entire country, not just
Because he has a narrative that he wants to get rid of anybody that's going to question him.
Because he has people who are going to enforce that by primarying anybody who disagrees with him, and the rest of the Republican elected officials don't have spines, and so they back off, and leadership of the Democratic Party nationally has backed off, and so and as far
what
as
leadership
Trump
in the
being
Democratic
up,
Party? What leadership in the Democratic Party? Like Democrats are just.
They're not.
It's like the blind leading the blind right now. They don't know how the hell to respond to this guy. Still,
it's like the blind leading the deaf.
No, totally. I do want you guys to comment like one at a time, very gently, to what Tommy said. The Democrat embracing communism with Islam is a very real threat. That is different than what the president has said, and I'm not saying that this isn't a threat, but these are two different things, I think. But yeah, go ahead, Mark.
Okay, communism isn't part of. You're looking at socialism. It would be like having a whole bunch of money that you're kind of controlling from the government and everything. Except we do that with corporations as it is, and they don't get accused of anything. As far as Islam is a religion that has been fine, more or less. I mean, people in our country, most people who are believers in Islam don't throw bombs and stuff, and they're probably any more than Christians. So I think that's not a real threat at all. I think people who are sitting there saying you have to believe like we want, or you got to be thrown out of the country or put in prison, that's a threat, and that's what I hear from Trump.
All right, awesome. Yeah. Drew, what about you?
Yes.
You do agree with Tommy?
Yeah.
That
it's a real threat. It's not the biggest threat, in my opinion, but he's correct. And yeah, Islam is a political ideology. And there are other religions that are becoming political ideologies.
But is it the entire religion, or is it just the extreme?
It's the extreme.
Well,
it's the extremes with everything.
Yes.
Are the problem. 100%. You got the extreme right-wingers that give everybody else a bad name. You've got the extreme Islamists that give everyone else the bad name. You have the extreme liberal agitators that give everyone a bad name. It's the extremes of all of the different parties that are causing all of the problem.
Have you read the Quran, Drew?
No.
Okay. I think that'd be important before you start making accusations about the beliefs of Islam.
What accusation did I make? I gave an opinion.
Well, just about,
but
because I think
what the belief is, and if you're going to make that.
But what are you disagreeing with that I said?
Because it's not a political ideology, and also parts of the belief system, especially when they teach that an adherent of the faith should donate 10% of their wealth and their time to the poor without question. You can find parallels of that in tithing, but it's much more comprehensive with Islam, which is meant that they've got that's kind of an attraction for people who are poor and downtrodden. So it has economic and political impacts, but it's when you're looking at it solely as political, and you're looking at like Osama bin Laden and people like that, it's easy to go, they're assholes. But
I think every side talks about how they want to protect their religion because they don't want to be persecuted. But on the flip side of that, there's also that offensive side of making sure that your religion is powerful enough to not be persecuted. And I think that's where like the extreme sides of every religion that we even just talked about kind of comes into play. Like,
okay, but when I'm looking at what Islam is doing and mainstream Christianity, or people who are progressive and Christians, there's a whole bunch of those people who aren't saying we want to take over and dominate the world. So
exactly, yeah. But I feel like we're all on the same.
But other people in here are saying, well, that is what Islam is. No, Islam is no more than Christianity is.
I never said it wasn't. As a matter of fact, I did make the comparison. Certain political figures in the state of Indiana would be perfect examples of that.
Like which one? Like which one, Drew? Just.
I'm not going to specifically say, but
Okay. That's awesome. Thank you. Yay. All right.
Am I wrong?
No, and I think we're all kind of on the same side with the whole idea that the extremists are
and can I throw something? Can I throw something here? So, the voters are responsible for the separation of church and state. and the voters need to do the right thing. The voters need to separate the church from the state.
Yeah, but that's like that's like when I would listen to Mark before and listen to Andrew Horning tell me like what the solutions to our problems are is ourselves, and it's the most depressing ass solution because we have no hope then because we all love to fight so much amongst each other that being on the same side to like squash anything, I don't know how we can get there, you know. And I feel like the more we try to agree with each other on things, you can split hairs on, you know, on any religion / political ideology, but it's really just there to kind of like almost divide us. And until we see that shell game being played on us, it's just going to be more of the same. And,
Yeah.
Well, and Tommy posted this: Islam kills gays, Christians pray for them. There's been a lot of Christians who killed gay people.
True.
You know,
Oh,
and I'm not saying that like they do it.
but did they do it? But did they do it in the name of Christianity? Because Islam, they throw them off.
I think certain Christians
they throw them off buildings. They throw them off buildings in Muslim countries.
I think certain Christians view homosexuality as like an abomination to the point where, yeah, that was probably okay that I did that, or I was doing.
That's
and I'm not saying the extremists,
Brad. That
the
was
extremists of
as far as killing people, Brad, killing people. Let's come on, man. I don't know of any Christians that are killing gay people. Now you can go and look, and you can find examples of people who are Christians or who claim to be. But I'm sorry, I don't think there's any Christians killing gay people in the name of their religion.
No, but there's also that stereotype and stigma where like once June was over, how many people posted like a picture of somebody in the red, white, and blue punching?
I did.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that you want them to be.
So what's that? So why is that? Why are you equating that to that? I want to kill gay people, Brad.
I'm not equating it to that you want to kill
That's
gay
what you
people.
said.
I'm
That's
saying
what
that
said.
thought process that is in that religion's head, that this is an abomination that should not be, you know, celebrated or acknowledged. Or
There are a lot of people that probably think like that, but to say that they want to kill them is a completely irresponsible statement.
But also to say that nobody's been killed because they're gay by a Christian is also
No. I did not say that, Brad.
no.
Christianity. They might have been a Christian who killed someone who was gay, but they didn't do it because they were a Christian and they were killing a gay person.
So do you give that same leeway to Muslims or like somebody in Islam that would kill, you know, somebody from the West? Because
well, that just depends if they're screaming Aloha Akbar or whatever the fuck they scream.
No, yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I think it's important to get to
tell me when you show me a Christian that's grabbing a gay person by the back of the hair and then slashing their throats and saying in the name of the Lord, then come back and talk to me.
I'll have to go look that up, I guess. But no, Drew, and I don't mean to put words in your mouth at all, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in terms of, to kind of go into a different area of this, in terms of political ramifications of Islam and what's been going on, especially, you know, we kind of overthrew governments that were elected. We supported governments like in Saudi. If you look at the 9/11 attacks, they're like all but 17 or 23, I think, of the hijackers were from Saudi. The reason that's important is they can't demonstrate there, or else they'll be executed. But they could try and attack the country that was responsible for the armaments of the royalty there. We've done things that have really kind of screwed over people trying to have political and legal rights and freedoms. And we can't discount the fact that at the same time as we are being blamed for that, in a lot of instances that's valid, they're also having religious leaders who are trying to get their support and get them involved with that religion because they hold out hope. So it's much more complicated than just it's their religion. That's how it happens. When we're throwing governments out, as we did with Mossadegh in Iran in like 53, we act like, well, that's just a long time ago, and that's just one of those things that happens. No, those people remember. And when we talk about like the embassy was taken over in Tehran, I remember that, even though it was 1979, so we're getting close to 50 years. But at the same time, when Ronald Reagan was running for president, the October surprise occurred because he committed an act of treason in getting the Iranians to pull out of giving the United States hostages back at the last minute. He wanted that advantage against Carter, or else it was close going into that.
Mm-hmm. Drew?
Are you claiming that he violated the Hatch Act?
Who, Reagan?
Yes.
He wasn't yet president of the United States.
Violated the Hatch Act.
At that point, he wasn't yet president of the United States. I don't know what would have applied. He certainly committed treason because he gave aid or support, comfort, and abetted an enemy of the United States. That was Iran. We didn't have to have a state.
He gave aid or comfort.
Yeah.
He gave aid or comfort.
Yeah. He said, "I'll give you. Wait to give this hostages back, and you'll get a better deal from me." Which meant that when they were fighting Iraq, then the United States gave armaments and intelligence to both Iraq and Iran. We benefited from that. Oil prices went really down, and we've got an oil-based economy. Our economy went really way up because Reagan committed treason. That's how he got office.
Thank goodness for Ronald Reagan, just one of the best presidents, according to John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmitz, which I love John. He always brings up Reagan, I think. But let's switch gears here because I want to see they've been holding a funeral in Iran for the last couple days, and I wanted to see what you guys thought about that. Now, this is of the Ayatollah. So this is like on the second day. It says mourners chant revenge at funeral prayers for Iran's slain supreme leader. There's been sort of like I don't even know what the hell's going on with the Iran war anymore, to the point of if it's a ceasefire, if there's negotiations going on, if we won again. Hunter Biden trolled the shit out of Trump the other day. It was great, saying that he needed the Nobel Peace Prize because of how many times he's won against Iran in the last year, like 39 times. I'm like, that is, yes, exactly. But I don't know. Number one, when did he even get killed? This was back in February that the Ayatollah was killed. So they've waited 5 months.
They might have had to put him back together.
No, that is
the burial has to be within I think it's 72 hours or something. But they're talking about it's the second day of public mourning. That's a different aspect because the actual burial has to be.
It's a different thing. Yeah, it probably already happened. The actual.
But
burial.
I mean, what does this say about the current status of Iran? Because for honestly, since this all started, I've had no idea. Well, but I've had no idea who is in charge, what the Iranian people have been really kind of thinking of all this. And the more that I look into this in the videos that go along with it, there are grown men weeping at the Ayatollah's funeral. The new Ayatollah hasn't even came and made a public appearance yet. So why are we, I don't know, we're in a war. Why are we allowing them to just have this royal funeral and almost kind of I feel rile up the Iranian people who would fight back against us?
What business is it of ours? about them having a funeral. Seriously.
Because if we're gonna do this, you go in and you end
If
it.
we're gonna do what? If we're gonna do what?
Finish whatever the hell we started. Like,
What?
I'm torn between the fact that like we've been kind of misinformed about what the whole reason in going there was, and then now that we are there, we're never gonna get out. Like, it's just freaking, we are there. And I want to know what the plan is. Like, there seems to be no plan, and they're holding a funeral on our Independence Day, which I don't like. That bugs me too. That everything was this.
Why would that bug you? Why would that bother you? Seriously,
Because
why would that?
It just seems like a mixed message for us. Like,
But I mean, look who our president is, the king of mixed messages.
Well, Drew, I think you know my opinion of him too.
Yes,
like,
yes,
also,
I do. I do.
When you're talking about what about the people over there who would kind of fight for this, they've watched us. They know, for example, the when George H.W. Bush said we'd back the Kurds, he didn't. And so Kurds were killed over there because they actually rose up. He knows that, like, we overthrew Mossadegh, and then we put the Shah in. The Shah brought modernization to Iran. He also butchered a lot of people. He was a dictator. And so all these things happen. They don't trust us at all, nor should they. We've gone in there. We want the oil. We'll overthrow governments that we don't like. And the bad part about that was not only was it wrong because the Declaration of Independence says that a people should determine their own government, but we did it because we didn't want them to nationalize oil. The Shah turned right around and nationalized oil and then started OPEC. So it's absolutely absurd what was done. And finally, we don't fight wars anymore. This isn't a war. If it were, both houses of Congress would have to pass war resolutions. We don't do that anymore.
No, Ducky in the chat too. Yeah, and Ducky like throws this out, and how many presidents never did the things they promised, and yeah, but we don't. One of the things he promised was he's not going to start a new war. No new wars. It was like George Bush with the no new taxes. Read my lips. No new taxes. No new wars. It's the same kind of shit, and we just get pulled into this, and we have to follow it. For
new boss.
Wait, sorry. Go ahead, Drew.
New boss, same as the old boss.
Yeah.
Yep, but also it's like I want to make sure people understand. There's a reason why we have to be sure and not call it a war, because if it were a war, there are all these rules that apply. When congressional
approval, so to speak.
Yeah, but also when John McCain was shot down over North Vietnam in 1964, initially the North Vietnamese said, well, he doesn't have the Geneva Convention apply because no war was declared. This is an illegal act against us. And that's a valid point, because we've created these institutions by law in international settings, and we should be expected to obey the law too if we're going to write it. So
does Trump seem like does Trump seem like the kind of guy who's been following rules, or has like there's a rule on this, so I can't do that?
No, he learned from Roy Kahn. He learned ignore the law, and you've got the mob behind you. That's what Trump is.
Larry pissing me off with this one, and I love it in the best of ways. Trump is the best Democratic president the Democrats ever had. Well played, sir. That was a good one. And then Tommy too. Just back to this. He said something about, so now we trust the Iranian media, and it's like, I don't trust the Iranian media, but I'm not getting anything from our government telling me a believable tale about why we're there, what we're doing there.
And I don't trust our media either, to tell you the truth.
What media? We got billionaires owning it. We're only getting what Trump wants us to be allowed to hear. I mean, we don't have media like we had during Vietnam. During Vietnam, people were pissed off because we weren't having cheerleaders from the press. They were telling us the facts of what was going on. That's why Vietnam ended, because people saw it was stupid. A lot of people got killed over there only because corporations were wanting to make profits. That's it. Not for freedom and democracy.
No, this was a fun one. I got to breathe for a second. Yeah. So I guess let's wrap up Iran just with like a little prediction because I have no idea what the hell's going to go on. Um, uh, Drew, by the time November rolls around, what do you think the situation in Iran is going to look like? And then Mark, it's going to be the same question to you. Like
Pretty much the same.
That's disheartening, Drew.
Why would I say anything differently? They don't really. I mean, okay, I can't say they don't, but does it?
No, I'm not
Does it
saying
look
that you're
like
wrong.
there's any-
I'm saying that it
Does
is.
it look like there's any strategy? Does it look like they have any strategy whatsoever?
Who's they?
Our government with it in regards to look like it, because
No.
I don't think it does either. They might be playing that 5D chess that the boomers always talk about, but yeah, no, I think it's going to be a lot the same. Maybe Trump will declare victory a couple more times. Who's to say? I mean, wow, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. No, Mark, what do you think about like by the time November rolls around, what's Iran going to look like?
Iran won't win, but they'll cover the spread.
No, and then Larry too. Yeah, they think this is a game of Risk, and
yeah.
Well, I mean, but I don't know that we've given them any reason to not think that because of how many times that we've said, "Hey, there's a new ceasefire. We're doing this. We're going to be doing that." They've already agreed to that. They're begging to make a deal. It's like, no, I just think Trump has been making money hand over fist on everything, and that's actually what we're going to get into now. I really think this is just going to keep getting. I'm with you, Drew, on that. Like, I think it's just going to keep going until November because
those missiles are expensive, and every time they fire a missile, somebody gets a check. Think about it that way.
But do we know where the missiles hit?
We don't have anything.
They know. We know what they tell us, so no, we really don't know where the missiles hit. In my opinion,
I feel like we should. We all just need to take a day off and go protest or something. I don't know. Like it's getting to a point where.
Can we call
this?
We call Cassie.
Yes, we should definitely call Cassie for that one. I think she would be on the front line of that. Now, I want to switch gears because, the president's sons, they're so they had the unfortunate, birthing pattern to be born to Donald Trump, and because of that, they're getting questioned.
Why is that unfortunate? Would you trade?
They're getting questions. No, they're getting. Oh fuck no! I wouldn't trade places with any of those assholes. No, no.
You wouldn't.
No, because that would mean that I would have to trade my dad for Donald Trump, and there is no way in shit.
That's okay. You know what? I see your point there, Brad. Bravo.
Yeah, no problem. But my favorite thing recently is Trump complaining that his kids can't make an investment without being questioned. Okay, and this is.
Are you okay, Mark?
I urge everybody to watch the full video of his interview with CNBC. But this is where he talks about his children and the
congressional medal.
Their woes, I guess.
It's because every time my kids do, if they invest in a stock or if they go and do a bill, anything they do, because the presidency is so powerful, so big, everything. Right. If they buy a cupcake company, well, the energy to make the cupcakes is, sort of like, how's my energy policy? So therefore you have a conflict. Almost anything they do, if they want to buy a truck, if they want to buy, if they buy an energy efficient truck, they have inside information. It's pretty tough in that sense. I feel badly in a way for
Okay.
May I? No, may I?
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. This is directed to Trump. No, you stupid son of a bitch. They've been making obvious deals with insider information, and that's the only way they know how to do anything, because they're as stupid as you are. They should have to face prison once he's out of office if we're lucky enough we're not in a nuclear war. Sorry.
No. Drew.
I mean, I understand exactly what he's saying, and I agree with what he's saying, but my response to it is boo-hoo. I mean, that's what you signed up for. You became president of the United States. Every politician does that shit, and they're going to be scrutinized. So there you go. They should avoid anything that has the appearance where there's insider information. That's all I'm saying. I agree with what he's saying. They are scrutinized, but sorry, you get what you get. You signed up for it.
Like maybe they shouldn't be on the board of Kalshi or Polymarket or
Kalshi?
Yeah.
Did you say
Kalshi? Like Don Jr. is on like one of the boards for Kalshi and Polymarket. They talk about, well, if you ask Don Jr. for advice on this, or if he's on the board for this, how, like, again, like, just devil's advocate on that, like, how is Trump sitting there without his pants on fire, saying these things without any sort of notion about what they accuse like Hunter Biden of?
Because he's incredibly stupid.
Trump isn't stupid, but he fakes like he's dumb. Like he's like, oh, I don't know where that came from, or I don't know where my money's going.
But he's obvious. I mean, he's blatant. You can obviously see. I mean, boo-hoo. This is exactly his. He became president. His family's gonna be scrutinized. That's the way.
I'm gonna add this to the stage because this is from Fox News, and they basically, Fox News had a little clip on this, and it's basically the same thing that you just.
Business deals breaking the Trump family's way for rare earth minerals and for cryptocurrency. The Wall Street Journal editorial board writes, assuming all of this is legal, it's still an unseemly display of using the presidency for family profit. It's hard to believe the Trump boys would be able to do the same deals if Dad wasn't in the Oval Office. The main difference between Hunter Biden's foreign dealings and the Trump projects is that the Trumps are brazenly open about theirs.
It's the biggest grift of all time. Donald Trump has turned the White House into his own ATM.
Last year, the Wall Street Journal reported about Binance, the crypto exchange. Binance took steps that catapulted the Trump family venture's new stablecoin product, enhancing its credibility and pushing its market capitalization up from $127 million to over $2.1 billion. Its incarcerated co-founder then earned a presidential pardon.
I do not have a business relationship with any of the sons of President Trump.
The president insists with the stock market going up, a rising tide lifts all boats.
So we're all profiting. I'm profiting because I have a lot of money and a lot of cash, and
sweet God,
institutions. I don't know if they know what they're doing or not, but
you dumb bastard.
That Drew, like that fake stupidity.
President Trump just finished airing on CNBC, and in it, the president was asked if he knew that the family was getting into the crypto business. The president said he could know it wouldn't be illegal, and that he feels badly for his sons, Don Jr. and Eric, because any business decision that they make is so scrutinized.
Drew, what the hell does that mean? Like, I could know?
I really can't. I mean, yeah, that seems sketchy as hell. Well,
and Ducky in the chat, I love this. I'm sure it's not exactly legal. Isn't another word for that illegal?
Isn't Mark? Perhaps you can shed some light on this. I think it's some emoluments.
Emoluments clause. Yeah.
Is this a clear violation of that?
No, because the United States Supreme Court would say it isn't.
Don't. I mean, let's
No,
not
because
go
Wait,
there.
do you mean-
Like,
do you mean-
is it? But is it, Brett?
Free vote.
Is it a clear violation of that, in your opinion?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And you're not supposed to be able to make money while you're in office as president from anything.
Yeah.
that you're
No.
selling
I
as
mean,
president.
And again, like I'm waiting for Tommy to get in here and say, like, well, of course, Pelosi had,
it's
stock
across,
praise
and I'm
blah,
getting
blah,
ready
blah.
to say that right now. I'm getting
No,
ready to say
and I have no
every
defense on
single
that.
one of
It should
them.
be prosecuted.
Every single Jefferson Shreve is quickly becoming one of the biggest traitors in office.
Wait, traders, TRADERS or TRAITORS? I'm serious. I'm serious.
Stock trader.
Okay, thank you. No, that was about 15, 20 years ago.
But there's a lot of them. And it goes across the boards. It's not a Republican problem, and it's not a Democrat problem, because
It's a power problem.
they're all personally enriching themselves with information that they have that the average American person does not have. This is what Martha Stewart went to jail for. This is exactly.
She was elected. She was elected in a landslide too, right?
No,
Martha
she wasn't.
Stewart? Absolutely.
That's clear. It's clear double.
Oh wait,
standard.
she wasn't an elected official. That's why she went to jail, because she wasn't
Yeah,
actually
exactly.
an elected
Yes.
official.
Yes,
Okay.
but it's been clear.
Just and everybody in the chat, thank you so much for friggin' everything.
Thanks for being here. Please click like and share.
Well, but
Please.
I want to know this feeling, because I feel like the three of us right now, like I feel like this is the most unified we've been on any topics.
I'm doing better, not interrupting Mark.
No, and I mean like we are all talking about witnessing the same thing at the same time and the same kind of corruption. And I don't know what would be said to us to divide that thought. I'm tired of the whole, we can't get any footing because it's like, oh, well, trans people are playing sports, or, there's gay people, like there are so many divisive things happening that if we can all unify on this is what we all need to surround ourselves with and try to purge from whatever the hell our government is, because it's not for us. Like Drew, like you said, this isn't, they're all in it for themselves, but I don't know that you get into politics with that mindset. I don't want to be that jaded to where I think that everybody who's running for office is just trying to screw the shit out of all of us. But I also don't want to be that naive, I guess.
If you look at dictatorships like in Cuba when Batista, or in the Philippines after the Spanish-American War, if you look at all of those, you had a progressive leader take office and they became corrupt and became a dictator, because power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So when you look at people gaming this system, and especially going back 1971 when Lewis Powell gave the speech about corporate
Powell memo.
Yeah, so it's like, if you're going to look at that and you look at how things have developed that way, that really tells you a lot about our government today, which it is beholden to corporate entities. And I will say this: everybody in the United States has an equal right to be a billionaire.
There's no but to that, Mark. I was waiting for more. There was.
That's all there is to it. I mean, and that's it. Before I forget, this was a good thing that came out of DC. I was at a dinner one time at DePaul. It was like an alumni dinner, and we were talking about poverty in DC.
Keep going. Sorry.
Okay, a woman at the table, and she was like, "We're there for a board of trustees thing," and so she was like a spouse or something. And anyways, she goes, Well, I go to my to work every day and the District of Columbia in DC, and I don't see any problems like that. And I said, "I'll you work in DC?" Well, yes. I mean, how do you take public transit? Or oh no, my driver takes me. She's got a limo to do volunteer work in one of the museums in DC, and she's seeing poverty on the way in her limo. That is a detached perspective that many people kind of tend to have at times. And when I hear people jump that gap, they're very wealthy and they're sitting there talking about the problems we have and problems of the poor, they've distanced themselves. And that's not really being all that there for the people who are poor. And when you have as much wealth transferred from the middle class and the lower classes into the hands of the few, that's what's going to happen. And that's what's happened here in the United States. When you game the system, it's no longer you're better at producing goods. You're better at gaming the system. And that's no different than what the czars did.
I think that every system that we have right now needs to be gone through with a fine-tooth comb, because the kind of the rampant abuse and just absolute fraud that they found in Minnesota is countrywide.
But
And-
I thought Doge did that.
Twin Towers behind you. Can you not have those up there, the Twin Towers?
Why not?
Because that's really kind of ominous, and I think that's not in good taste.
What do you mean?
I'm going to allow it just because I don't know. I think
I'm a native New Yorker. I am a native.
I see the towers as like, I don't know. Anytime I see the towers, there is like a sense of patriotism.
It's also a death site. It's a funeral site.
It is. But I think it's what links us. I think we can be like united in our tragedies as well, in view and grieve together. Like
I have family that were first responders there.
To me, it's all about how people perceive it. So,
and you've got a right to put that up there. I was making that request.
Okay. Can you elaborate on why it would bother you, though?
I'm sorry?
Can you elaborate on why it would bother you?
I just feel that when we're sitting here discussing things that aren't related to 9/11, that's something it's I don't want to see it treated as a glib thing, and I apologize for I'm not saying that you're doing it that way, but I just did it. I'm a New Yorker. I'm a New Yorker, and these will always symbolize New York to me. Wait, so you're doing that Yankee crap because you're actually from there?
It's even worse than you thought, Mark. It's even worse.
No, I mean I was born on Long Island, man. I was born on Long Island. I lived there. I lived on Long Island.
Okay.
Oh,
wait a minute.
11,
so
11.
Long Island's right next. I mean, you could have been there in Queens. You could have been a Mets fan.
And actually, most people that live on Long Island are Mets fans, but I was a Yankees fan.
We got just a couple minutes left. I want to do this really fast because Jim Lucas he had another post that I told him to stop disrespecting the ghost of Hacksaw Jim Duggan, because he keeps posting these ones where he looks like Hacksaw Jim Duggan with a friggin' 2x4. And listen, I love WWF. Hacksaw Jim Duggan was one of my favorites, along with like the Bushwhackers. Like, you know, he just needs to stop on that. But he was talking about how wonderful it is for all the World Cup visitors to to visit these cities and be like, oh well, this is totally different than what I've been fed. And I brought up the fact that a lot of these cities are blue cities. These are Democrat-run cities. So how, I'm just saying that in certain instances it's okay, and we're putting on a great front to the world, but then at the same time, once these global visitors are gone, these blue cities are going to be pieces of shit again, according to him. So I guess how do we I guess rationalize that? Like, but can we agree that the World Cup's been successful so far as a show for like U.S. cities? Yes.
Yes.
Mark, oh my God, it's like baseball but played on.
It's soccer. It's soccer.
No, it's football.
No, it's not, Brad.
Is that when
Yeah,
fucking
you sit there for
soccer.
like
It's
2 hours
soccer.
and it comes out
It's
1-0?
football.
You can call it
for like 2
football,
hours.
whatever,
Comes out
man.
1-0.
Whatever, Brad, but it's soccer. All right, chat, get with me. Is it soccer or football? Please, like, what we maybe have three.
And you gotta spell it right too. You know.
No, you don't.
You gotta have the little. You have to have the U with like the little accent.
And isn't that like an accent egg U or something like that? Wouldn't you know that?
Rob.
Thank you,
Rob.
Rob.
Trickle.
Thank you, Larry.
What about the Australian rules football? Australian rules football where they do this with the flags. Look, I haven't.
We call that rugby. We call that rugby.
No, it's
Larry.
Australian
Larry had
football.
a question. Larry had a question about New York pizza. Did you see that? And I can't really answer that question in the way that he's worded it because what's my go-to pizza here in Indiana, or when I'm on the East Coast, which I rarely.
Both. Give it to us both.
Okay. Well, first of all, I think that if you're in Indiana, my go-to pizza. Okay, so locally here, I like Last Chance Pizza. It's at Behringer's Tavern, and they have a good crust. It has a good fold. I mean, I'm no Dave Portnoy or anything like that, but
good, Drew. That's a good thing.
I do know my pizza. So, but if I'm in New York, man, honestly, any little random pizzeria, mom and pop shop is gonna be good for me. I mean, I
just
would
don't go and get like a Sbarro. You know, like don't. If you're in New York.
Okay, I will take a Sbarro over a Domino's or a Papa John's.
Oh, most definitely.
Any day. But
if you're in New York, you get one of those ones that are like,
and then locally, as I said, Last Chance Pizza. That's on South Meridian Street, right next to Behringer's Tavern. They're really, really good. And then Papa Ray's on like Shelby Street, just south of Fountain Square, is really good. I'm judging that by the size of the cut. By the size of the cut, and then when you fold it, how it folds, and that's no joke. That's really.
I love like the passion and thought. Like I love that you take it seriously. You're not just like willy nilly on.
No. But honestly, there's like those pizza places like Papa John's and Domino's. Those are. They're if you're getting rewarded at work, those are fine.
Okay,
Mark, do they have pizza in Peoria?
Okay, let me answer in three things. Okay, I've had local pizza here that I haven't gotten knocked out of the park with, but I'll say that like in terms of generally in Indianapolis, having lived there for ages, a thin crust whole wheat from Basbo's was really good.
Okay.
If you're out in the state, though, an underrated pizza, if you go to Pizza King has really good thin crust pizzas. Now, in Chicago...
Is it cut in squares? If it's cut in squares...
Yes.
If it's cut in squares, it's not pizza. I'm sorry.
Yes, it is.
I'm sorry.
It's a freaking cracker?
It's not pizza. It's a fucking little picnic.
All right, well, let's look at... Rob's got a great one here.
Absolutely.
They're good. They're good pizzas. I've been to Giacomo's. But, okay, I'll tell you one thing about Illinois. I've never gotten into Chicago-style pizza, which is like pizza quiche. But...
Oh, like deep dish?
Yeah.
Commies and
Giordano's.
Yankees, they're really good. They're more thin crust with a lot of stuff on them. So I've had, the big thing that I've had culturally to adjust to since moving here. And by the way, I want to know if people are still getting shaken down from teams who are coming to the country because they're from other countries, but for the soccer stuff. But when it comes to getting kind of culturally adjusted, I moved from Illinois to Indiana right when the Colts had moved to Indiana.
84. 84.
83. They were there at 83. So
their first season was 84.
Yeah.
I think they moved like in that. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing with Mayflower. So I had to adjust from being a Bears fan. We won the Super Bowl and I'm really feeling good. And then trying to adjust to being in Indiana with the Colts fans. As a Colts fan. So I finally do it. So for several years, I've been a Colts fan, all that great. I move here and I think, okay, I've got to adjust to being a Bears fan again. And now they're moving to Indiana. Now, I got to say, anybody who thinks that taxpayers benefit from public subsidies for professional sports is silly. And they're actually more of a communist than I am. So it's like I have a real problem adjusting to who am I going to root for as a team. I also have a problem with football because of brain damage, and that's really been established. It really hurts players. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
They make that choice. They make that choice. They make their
mistake. A lot of them didn't know about that when they started. They didn't know about it. I heard,
at this point, they all know. At this point,
Philadelphia Eagles player said, "We all knew you could break your legs. We didn't know you could break your brain."
At this point,
some of that, yeah. I mean, and once like they went to like face mask helmets and stuff, it changed a lot.
And the
Halo. We could do a whole episode on CTE stuff.
Mark, did you watch football when you were younger?
I watched it. I didn't.
Red Grange. He listened to Red Grange on the radio.
Were the helmets leather?
You guys are really.
I know. We're letting them have it now.
Okay,
wait, I just want to. We're gonna have
Galloping Ghost. He watched the Galloping Ghost.
I want to end it on two things with pizza. Number one, at least Indiana doesn't have the worst pizza of all time, which is St. Louis style pizza. And if you've never tried it, they put on some weird ass cheese that is the most disgusting. It's not Parmesan, or it's not provolone, and it's not mozzarella.
Is it Gouda?
No.
It's
If it was a great tasting cheese, it would be awesome. It tastes like a foot, somewhat. It's not.
Is it a blue cheese?
No, and again, I feel because whoever was poo-pooing on
is it head cheese?
Pizza King. No, from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's the only time I've ever heard the term
head cheese.
Yeah. Which, yeah, we'll have to talk about that movie again later. But no, the Pizza King. Pizza King, I think, is an Indiana staple, at least from moving down here from Northwest Indiana. Like Pizza King, I feel like it is expensive as shit, but they were the only place that I first experienced, I guess, the Washburn, where it's like half pizza sauce, half barbecue sauce, and I thought it would be horrible.
No, that's pretty good actually.
It is.
It's okay. As far as Pizza King goes, Brad, I'd rather have Chuck E. Cheese.
Dude, don't skimp on Chuck E. Cheese either.
No,
Chuck E. Cheese
actually,
is great pizza too.
The pans they bake that in. That's fine.
No, Chuck, and same thing with Casey's. Casey's breakfast pizza.
Is
amazing. Yeah.
Wait. Qualifier. If we're going outside and in the state of Indiana, and you're looking at types of food, I gotta say, hot dogs. Hitting a B&K root beer stand, you pull in and they serve you at the car. Those are the best hot dogs. There's one on the east side of Logansport, and there's one on the northeast side of Rochester.
There's one in Alexandria.
You got to get a good glizzy.
We have a McDonald's and a Subway, and that's it. In Alexandria. But we have a B&K, which is a godsend for us. So, and then Ducky in the chat, thank you. It's like something like Harvati cheese, but it's some look up St. Louis pizza, and if you ever go to a Cardinals game, go to Pappy's Smokehouse.
Why would I want to go to a Cardinals game? My God, I have moral values.
Oh
Jeez.
man, Mark, I went to
because they're a real team. They're a real team, Brad.
Yeah. All right.
Real quick before we leave, though,
yes.
wasn't there some drama happening? That
the libertarian news.
Yeah, Larry, are you still here? Yeah, let's talk.
Yes. Wait, hang on. We do have a bakery in the Gaither building, the Alexandria Bakery, which I really think they took a big chance on their name, with going out on a limb by calling it the Alexandria Bakery. I don't know if they're gonna, be able to market that, but no, it's wonderful. They had for June 7th, they had 6-7 donuts. It was hilarious. But
that was them.
Yeah, and I mean they have some, like, their cookies, even their brownies are amazing. And it's one of the firefighters, I think it's the former fire chief. He retired and he opened up the bakery. So it's just this, it's such a good small town kind of vibe to it. So
very cool.
Well, yeah, Drew, let's talk a little bit about the Libertarian Party in the state.
So there was there's a little bit of drama going on within the Libertarian Party, and it so happened that there were people talking about the recent Supreme Court ruling on the 14th Amendment. I'm surprised we didn't cover that tonight.
Yeah.
So somebody was in that chat or on that thread, and they commented that that program is being abused, which would be the birthright citizenship program is being abused. I'm not saying get rid of it. I'm just saying, hey, we really need to take a look at this because it's being abused, and any abuse of the American taxpayer is bad. That's just my opinion on it. So that commenter was met with the laughing emojis and all sorts of things, and comments that that's not happening, that the birthright citizenship program isn't being abused. And again,
it's not a program. It's constitutional amendment, part of the Constitution.
Okay, so it's being abused then. It's being abused. I'm not going to sit here and argue.
I Drew, yeah.
But what I'm saying, look up pregnancy tourism if you really want to get deep into it. But anyway, I mean, I'm not going to debate that it's something that's being abused, because it is. So, the Marion County chair of the Libertarian Party got into the thread and was commenting, and everyone was going back and forth. And so our word for the day has been hyperbole, which the chair of the Libertarian Party said, "I hope you lose ballot access to these people that were laughing, as opposed to having an honest debate about something, or at least not debating, but talking about how, you know what, I disagree with you that's happening, irregardless." So anyway, so there's a Libertarian candidate for Congress in the 7th district. He'll be running against Andre Carson. He calling for the Marion County Libertarian Party chair to step down.
Now, who is the Libertarian Party chair?
Stephen Whitmer.
Oh. Well, and he doesn't speak in hyperbole, though.
Yes, he does. I mean, I love
Woody.
I was party to this thread. I was party to it. I know exactly how it was going. I would not have said that. I would type that. But I
that's
understand
too, though. Like, when you guys talk about hyperbole, it's you know, or at least just not having the same level of appreciation for someone else's argument. Like, even if they're arguing a point where you don't find value in it, or you can't find that it is a valid argument, you still have to.
They weren't arguing against our point. They were simply being dismissive.
No, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, you still have to engage. You can't.
At this point, honestly, if somebody's being dismissive of your point and not even wanting to listen and having a rational adult discussion about it, as opposed to laughing, or in this case, I guess some of the extreme libertarians tend to squeeze the rubber chickens. Remember the rubber chickens?
Like that. Yeah,
but anyway,
that's ruined a few concerts, by the way, now too.
But what I'm saying is people should participate. If you have differences, they should just be openly discussed in a respectful way. I mean,
but it's our First Amendment right to not be respectful, right? Like, I don't have to be respectful.
So wouldn't speaking in hyperbole be a First Amendment right as well?
It is.
Yeah,
like, and that's like, it's
all
protected.
I'm trying to keep the gopher. Damn it! You scared the gopher on that hole behind you. When I'm watching the golf course there. Never mind.
Don't worry, he's gonna get blown up in a minute. So that's really how we should have ended this episode, is just blowing up the golf course behind him. No, well, so Drew, Larry, walk us through, like, what are the next steps then for the Libertarian Party? Okay. Or is that I didn't mean to.
That's it.
We got to switch.
The half of them are going to say they're more doctrinaire and consistent with philosophy than the other half, and the other half are going to say no.
Okay, Larry, I know you don't have a rubber chicken. So basically, what's going on is that our county meeting. Good God, look at the eye of the tornado behind us. Turn around again, Mark. Okay, so basically, there will be a group of people that are trying to have the county chair removed. And
when does that? I guess
July 15th. It'll be 2 weeks from this coming Monday, or 1 week from this Monday.
Okay.
So
and I'm going to be absent from next week. So is this something that you guys can kind of at least bring up next week when I'm out?
Yeah, but I think we're going to talk about guns next week.
Oh, good. Yeah. Because, like, I'm all for the Second Amendment. I just don't give a shit. And I don't have any guns. So I just don't think that they're going anywhere.
For the gun debate, I was going to have my friend Jay Hart sit in for me, Mark.
Oh, Jay, you can't bring in a ringer for shit like this.
I'll handle anybody, but after all we talked about and everything, that's not fair.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. No, but for future guests, though, how'd you guys like to try to get Jesse Brown?
Oh, totally, yeah. Well, and
Whitty said he would come on.
Good. Yes. Anytime Whitty wants to come on, he's always friggin' welcome. What I really want, though, and maybe you guys could see about making this happen, because I don't have any. I don't know if you guys do either, but I really want to get some of those Turning Point kids. On this show. I want Republicans. I want Republicans to come onto this show and explain to me what the hell I'm seeing from their viewpoint.
You want a Turning Point kid? Kid?
Yes.
Okay, absolutely. I got to run, guys. Let's wrap it up. We're hitting on.
Oh yeah, we went long tonight, but yeah, everybody in the chat, thank you guys so much for sticking with us. Mark, hang
Larry,
on. I'm going to be with you guys.
Larry, I don't think so, but there's a possibility.
I won't be here next Sunday. I'm going to go to a concert, so it's just going to be these two knuckleheads and probably some guests. So we'll figure that out. But and yeah, they're going to be talking about guns. Let's see if I'm going to reach out to Guy Relford just to.
He doesn't like me, but that's because I don't like him.
No way, Mark. That. All right, everybody, take care. Love you guys. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Peace out.